We live in contentious, politically divisive times. But we should always remember that the issues that divide us, the ordinary political issues of the day, are often trivial in comparison to the things that define us as a free people and as a constitutional democratic republic. Some examples. I'll pick this one because the moderator of our panel is a fine journalist, Carol Koenig of the Washington Post. Justice Thomas wrote a separate opinion just a couple of weeks ago calling for reconsideration of New York Times against Sullivan. Now, if that case were ever overruled, there would be a tremendous row. I don't think it'll ever happen. I'm sympathetic to originalism, but I'm kind of more of a faint-hearted originalist, which is what Justice Scalia called himself. And I think that case should be left alone. It's not one I'd pick on. Plus, I kind of like the fact that you can tweet at rich public officials without fear of retribution in the courts. I like that constitutional immunity. But the point is that if Sullivan were ever overruled, we'd still have a free press and we'd still have a free country. Supreme Court of Canada, for example, rejected an argument that they should follow the US in that regard. England never had the rule. They have a free press. They have a free country. If Sullivan were overruled, it would be a bad thing, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Now, contrast that, though, with what would happen if it became real government policy that, in effect, the press were the enemy of the people. And if the government could and did take regulatory action, let's say under the antitrust laws or postal regulations against the press for criticizing, say, the president. That's a problem of a quite different order of magnitude. You can't have a free country with that. Another example, criminal justice. We've had so many controversies over the years between bleeding heart liberals on one side and law and order conservatives on the left, very contentious. But now we have a president who's actually criticized his own attorney general on political grounds because the attorney general allowed the indictment of 2 congressmen who were supporters of the president. The criticism being, these guys supported me. Why did you allow that to happen? And the president has suggested that members of his own Justice Department should be locked up for investigating the president. Now, if people were to get indicted or not indicted on the basis of whether the president likes them, we wouldn't have a republic, we'd have a banana republic. I could go on and on. But we have other things to attend to here. The point is that no matter where we fall on the political spectrum, we need to remember what we all stand for together. And that's why events like this we think are so important.